YouTube? It's 2024 and I'm making my return. Today I'm going to show you how to make a OSAMASON type beat for FLEXMUSIX. I just want to say before we start the video, thank you guys for all the support in the past videos that I had in 2023. I know I started late and kind of fell off at the end, but I promise that we're coming back stronger and better in 2024. So let's get this shit started. So for the first sound of the melody, I picked this polysynth out of Surge XT, Messy. It's a free plugin that I will leave the link down below for you guys. And I wrote down these chords. First I did FL keys and wrote down some bass notes, chords, and a top line. But I think I deleted the FL keys. And I got rid of some unnecessary notes, and this is what it sounds like. Nothing really too crazy, just some progression in there, and then I just put a simple EQ in it, cut out the lows and some of the highs. Next was just a bass from Serum, Allure Serum Bank bass F5, just copying the same bass notes that I had from the chords, and this is what that sounds like. Just the same exact thing. Next, I went back into Surge and grabbed another polysynth, Japanese unison, and kind of, did an upwards progression here, but I just using the same notes that I'm using from the first sound. We're using the same exact notes. I'm not changing anything too crazy, just a little variation at the end so it doesn't get repetitive. And for effects, I put a EQ on it, cut out some of the highs and the lows. Sorry for the bass as well. I put an EQ on it, cut out the highs and a little bit of the lows. Next was a pad from Hive, Arc Dark Freeway. Putting these down. Just pitch changes, octave changes, just same notes that I've been using this entire progression or this entire melody. It might sound weird on its own, but I promise it's not going to sound great at the end. I put a crystallizer on it just to give it a little delay, and a EQ to cut out the lows and some of the mids. So without the crystallizer, that's what it sounds like. But I thought I wanted to put a little extra, ring to it, so I just put my crystallizer on. Next was, I'm pretty sure it's an organ from Purity. Yeah, organ 1E. And just these three little accent notes. Yeah, really nothing too crazy, just playing those over and over again. EQ on that, lows for obvious reasons, mids just a little bit too much on the mid, and highs as well. Next is this lead from Purity, Glide Glass. It's a synth, lead synth, sorry. And this is what I put down. To get that sliding gliding effect, I extended the notes over to the next one, because without it, it sounds like this. I think it just sounds better with the glide. Yeah, I just hummed this out while I'm playing, while the rest of the melody's playing. That's usually how I get most of my leads. For this, I put a crystallizer on it. Same thing, default setting, with it turned down to 33%, and then an EQ to cut some of the highs and the lows. Next were these brass hits, these short section hits. I see that in a lot of OSAMASON beats that he has these in there, or Ken has a lot of these in his beats. Just for that little variation in the ear candy in there. So I'll play this now. I just changed the fourth one just because I just wanted some variation in there. And on that, I put a EQ, cut out the lows and some of the highs. And the melody altogether sounds... So now let's start with the drum. So I started with this simple clap from Nateco's kit, Nate CXO, whatever you want to say it. Right here, this clap season 2 beep. Kind of sounds like a snare, but this is what I put down. Just normal 3 on every 3, but I added a little variation at the end. Next, I layered it with the snare 4 from OK's kit. I layered that with the first clap. So those two sound together, it sounds like this. Next, I used a hi-hat 4 from OK's kit with this simple pattern, 2-step with a couple variation and rolls here and there. At the end, I wanted a little bit of, variation, so I did a velocity change in between each note. And then I put these down just to give it a little extra bounce to it. And then next, I used the same hi-hat, but I did a 1-step pattern with every other note being an octave lower and quieter. And that just gives it a little bit more bounce to it. You can barely hear it in the song, but together it just gives it just makes a whole of differences. Next was the snare 7 from OK's kit, and I put down this pattern. I have that little roll at the end on only when I go into the next verse or at the end of the song. I only have the first 3 bars or 3 measures playing in the beginning, just so I don't overdo it. Next was this open hat from OK's kit. I had this open hat responding to the next open hat, which I'll show next, but this is the first one. And I had that coming out the left ear a little bit more, and I turned it down a little bit so it's not hitting too crazy. Next is another open hat with shakers from Nate CXO's kit. The last 2 drum sounds was this triangle from Lose It, just on the 1st and 3rd beat. And then I had chant playing from Lose It, just throughout the beat where I thought it sounded well. So all the drum sounds together sound like this. So I chose this first 808 from OK's kit. I think this is used in a lot of OSAMASON type beats, or mainly his beats because OK's his producer, but boosted it 2%, hold, and I put Nate CXO's preset on it with a soft clipper and just boosted it with the EQ a little bit, and this is what that sounds like. I thought, well, if the drums are going crazy, why not make the 808 go crazy too? And this is the second 808. Same preset, same 808, everything, just a different pattern. That's the entire beat. I had this preset from a kit that I used for Shaper Box just to give it a little bit more texture in the beginning. But besides that, that's the entire beat. Once again, I'm sorry for kind of dipping out the end of 2023, but 2024, we're coming back stronger, I promise that. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, maybe subscribe. I'll be posting more regularly. Thanks guys, here's the beat.